So one more important concept, so that is singleton class and factory class. So actually, these are also called design patterns in Java. Design patterns. The points are very simple about the singleton as well as factory. Let me explain one by one. The first thing, just take two classes along with the main class. Here it is the two more classes I am taking. One class name is a singleton class and one class name is a factory class. This is factory class. I am saving with the name is a factory, and one more class I am taking is a singleton class, and I am saving with the name is a singleton. So total three classes I defined: main, factory, and singleton. As we know from our basic knowledge of core concepts, if the class is public, the constructor, default constructor is also public. When it is a public constructor, you can create object for these two classes directly. Simply, we are creating object for factory, f is equals to new factory. Here it is calling the constructor. Constructor is public, so it is available. Second one is a singleton, s is equal to new singleton. New singleton. So when you are executing the code, you are not getting any error message because you are following all the rules. The points are factory and singleton. Class is public, and this one is also class is public. This rules I'm explaining along with the code. Second one, the rule is what? Singleton object creation directly not possible. Factory class object also directly not possible. We should control that. How can we control? It's very simple. By default, it is a private public constructor. Of course, nothing is inside. We need to make it as a private. You know that private members not allowed to access from outside. Private singleton. This is the only way that we can control object creation from outside. Now, when you are trying to run this code again, as these two become private constructors, you will get error messages. Look at this. Factory, this is constructor na, has private access in factory class. Singleton is a constructor na, has private access in singleton class. In a singleton class, that is factory and singleton. So these two place in comments. So then how can we create object? Means factory method is there. Factory method is a static method. Get object or get instance. Method name anything you can write. Get object or get instance. Instance is also object. It will create object for factory. It will create object for factory class and it will return. It will return. It is returning factory class object. So return type is a factory. With request only, you can get the object. Directly, you cannot create the object. See, how can we call this get object method? It's a static method. So we need to call using the class name. So here it is in main. Using the class name, we are calling that method get object. It will give you that object factory F1. Factory F1. Here it is. It is not allowed. It is not allowed to instantiate directly from other classes. It's the same one. Instantiation means what? Object creation. Object creation. Then how can we access? How can we access? We can get instance using factory method. The same one. We can get instance using factory method. So automatically the doubt will come. What is that factory method? Factory method, it is a static method, belongs to class that returns object on request. When you are requesting for the object, it will return. That is the factory method. The same factory method we need to define in Singleton also. Public static get object. It will return the Singleton object. So return type is what? Is a Singleton. Return type is a Singleton. That is this one. Right. See, here it is. Now in the same way, we are creating object. Two objects I am creating. Look at this. Factory F1, F2, factory dot get object. In the same way, Singleton S1 is equal to class name dot get object. Singleton S2 is equal to Singleton dot get object. Here, the only problem is when you are displaying the values of F1 and F2, F1 we are printing and F2 also we are printing. F2. In the same way, we are printing S1 and S2. S1 and S2 we are printing. That is, here it is, the output will come same. Then what is the difference between factory and Singleton? Factory, with multiple requests, different objects you are getting. These two are different objects. No? Singleton also should be in the same. It is giving like a, this is different object. It is also different object. Here it is, both are like exactly same. But rule is not like that. What is the rule? What is the difference between factory and Singleton? Factory can be instantiated any number of times, no limit. But Singleton must be instantiated only once. Multiple object creations not allowed. Then how can we control means? Not inside the object, not inside the method. Simply define it as a static variable. Static means only one time memory will be allocated. Only one time. And make it private. From outside, they cannot access directly. Private variables not accessible directly from outside. That we know already. It's a simple point. Static variable gets memory only once. Only one time we created the object. Whenever they request, every time that object only we are sending. How many requests? No matter. Every time the same object address only will return. Same object address. So this one, now when you run the code, first time is the same object, second time also the same object will come. Look at the output of this code. See, here factory means on different requests, different objects are coming. Singleton on any number of requests, same object address is coming. That is the only difference between factory as well as Singleton. Sir, where we use exactly, factory and singleton, don't worry. In the next class, one more brief example, another example with where we use exactly also I'll explain. Okay, practice all these things. You can leave for today. Thank you all.